I'm pleased to take a call briefly to address some of the points raised by the previous speakers. I would say this in answer to some of the concerns expressed by the Maori Party member in relation to the UN Special Rapporteur. I had a couple of meetings with him last week. He'd made no definitive conclusions because his report has not yet been released. He generally was of the impression that in many respects this country, in a bipartisan way, is leading the world in this area. Since Matt Rata established the Waitangi Tribunal in 1975 and Geoffrey Palmer extended the jurisdiction in 1984, that some very, very good work has been done. And I agree with him. And he did say that so many of these issues finally are determined as a result of the exercise of a political discretion, but of course that has to be right, that when one comes down to making decisions on pieces of conservation land or the level of commercial redress, of course it will be the exercise of a discretion, so I really have difficulty in seeing how that is necessarily a criticism. I think he would have preferred, or on the basis of his experience with land claims in North America, to have a preference for a more statutory-based one, and perhaps he placed more faith in the litigation process than I do. He's a professor of law, but perhaps believes that litigation is a cure-all, whereas I don't. But I think his visit was a success, and I very much look forward to his final report. I thank Mr Quinn for his generous comments. A lot has been achieved over the last year. There is actually a huge amount of work to be completed, and that is why I'm very grateful, particularly to the Minister of Finance, for facilitating an increase in the funding of the Office of Treaty Settlements in 2 budgets, and the Office of Treaty Settlements is indeed working very, very hard. I'm pleased tonight that we're going to have the first reading of the Upper Waikato River Bill. Those iwi were very gracious after we came into government. They knew that we wanted to renegotiate the Lower River Bill, and they were very patient until that could be done. I think the final product is very good indeed. And when we signed the deed with Ngāti Maniapoto in relation to the Waipa, and that part of the river system is brought in, that together with the clean-up fund, which is a very generous sum, is going to see some substantial improvements in that river, and my impression of local authorities and the various sectoral interests is that they've put their initial fears or apprehensions behind them to getting on with the job. I've been very pleased with the work done in Tāmaki over the last 12 months, and I'm quite excited that the logjam that was created in 2006 is going to be broken over the next 12 months as we sign deeds with them, and I'm very hopeful that this time next year all the deeds with Te Tau Ihu iwi will have been signed and their legislation will have been passed. Certainly that's my hope, and I've been meeting with them today and will meet with the group after this speech to ensure that we keep up the momentum there. I'm very hopeful, given that Mr Jones is here, that Titai Tokerau iwi are going to have their day in the sun very soon. The Te Huku Forum iwi have been working very hard since agreements in principle were signed at Ahipara on that beautiful day on 15 January, and I believe that a good settlement for them is going to release huge amounts of funds into that magnificent area of New Zealand and give them the chance to shine as they deserve it. Central North Island, hopefully in the not too distant future we're going to have legislation to give effect to the settlements entered into last year with Ngāti Manawa and Ngāti Whare, and I am very, very hopeful that the terms of negotiation that we signed with Taranaki and Tiatiawa on 17 March this year are going to progress very well next year. There's the Wanganui River claim that I'm keen to progress. There is a lot of work to be done, and I'm so grateful for the support that I've received from my colleagues in the Maori Party in advancing these matters. So, yes, one listens to the Special Rapporteur. I think it's good that we as a country expose our systems to international scrutiny, but I think that we can be very proud as a Parliament of what we've done in this area. and in a bipartisan way, I look forward to the next 12 months.
Vote treaty negotiations. The question is, those of that opinion will say aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. The question now is that vote agriculture and forestry stand part of the schedules. Shane Ardern.